If we're gonna be honest, we carry so much weight, so much responsibilities. And I don't know about you, but sometimes my shoulders be hurting from all of the weight that I am carrying. I often feel these little taps when it's time for me to have intentional rest. And I literally woke up on a Friday, told my husband, we're going to the beach tomorrow. And honestly, I didn't want to release this podcast from a place of being drained or being tired or being exhausted. A lot of times as women, we still continue to show up no matter what we have going on. I think the first thing you have to have is boundaries. You can truly live the life you deserve. Welcome to the Finally Healed podcast, where we prioritize mental health, self-care, and embracing our healing journey together. I am your host, Jessica Lundy, and welcome to season 2 of the podcast. If you are new here, welcome. We're your new family. And if you have been on this healing journey with me, welcome back. Listen, ladies, I have missed you. Have you missed me? I have missed you. I hope that you have been well. So let's talk about it. Today, we're going to be talking about the hidden cost of having it all, right? If we're going to be honest, we carry so much weight, so much responsibilities. And I don't know about you, but sometimes my shoulders be hurting from all of the weight that I am carrying. And in these months that we have had this little bit of a break, y'all, life has been lifing. Like, let me know in the comments, has life been lifing for you? As some of you know, I have a daughter that is considered medically complex. And y'all, we are getting to the final stages of baby girl receiving her full and complete healing. So we have been prepping her for that. I am officially a homeschool mom. Where my homeschool moms at, okay? Why didn't y'all tell me how hard this was? I feel like I'm at Office Depot or the library every day getting supplies. And I am still a wife, an entrepreneur, and a speaking coach for the stars, okay? So when I tell you that I am handling the weight of the world all while trying to still look fabulous, okay, and keep my mind and my sanity, I know what it costs to look like you have it all together. Because let's be honest, if you go on Instagram, you might be looking at me and be like, oh, Jess got her life together. But there are some strategies, there are some intentionalities, some choices that I have to continue to make on a daily basis to continue to show up and show out. Recently, that weight was feeling a little heavier than it typically does. And I felt this little tap from God. I often feel these little taps when it's time for me to have intentional rest. And I literally woke up on a Friday, told my husband, we're going to the beach tomorrow. He's like, babe, we don't live near the beach. I'm like, yeah, I know, but we're going to figure it out. We leave it in the morning. He's like, give me 24 hours. And so in 24 hours, I find myself on a sandy beach, relaxing, feet in the sand, drink in my hand. Okay. And I'm not a drinker. So it was a little virgin daiquiri, okay, from my people, from my non-drinkers, okay? Stay focused. But I knew I needed a rest. And I hope this encourages you. I hope this inspires you. If you're feeling that need where life is feeling heavy, where you're having all these responsibilities, I'm also caregiving for another family member now. And so even just setting her up in her facility, like it just is feeling like a lot. And honestly, I didn't want to release this podcast from a place of being drained or being tired or being exhausted. A lot of times as women, we still continue to show up no matter what we have going on. But I want to give you permission when you're feeling like you need to rest. If you're feeling like you need to log off of social media and unplug for 30 days, do that. If you ain't been to church in a minute, show up to the house of the Lord. Like, do what you need to do so that you can bear the weight of all of the responsibilities you have, okay? Take and adhere to that word. I know it can be hard because sometimes when people hear the word rest, we can feel offended. Like For some of you, when you heard me say rest, you were like, why is she in my business? Or you had the superwoman complex, meaning like you can do it all. And I believe that our God is so good that he allows us to rest and that we can actually do more. I don't know about you, but I feel like when I'm rested, like I feel like I can take on the world. But when I'm operating with that red line in the battery, that under 10%, it starts to creep its head up in the places that I've tried to hide it. Okay. So we talked about the importance of physical rest, but can we talk about what mental rest looks like? I started this year off making a bold decision and a bold choice. Y'all, I got off of social media for 3 months. Now, this was supposed to be first to start off as a week off, right? Then it was like, okay, I'm gonna take 2 weeks and a month off. And I was like, wow, like I am really enjoying being present, living life, not documenting things. And it wasn't something that I just woke up one day and was just like, I need a social media break. I saw a post that ET posted, Eric Thomas, the hip hop preacher. He posted that he was taking like December off of social media. I saw Tim Ross, who I also very much respect, saying that he was taking a break from social media and didn't know when he was going to come back. And so seeing other people that I respect, this is why it's important to have mentors. This is why it's important to have people in your life that you can glean from and trust. And so when I realized that these are two powerful men of God, they hear clearly from God, and that they felt like they were going into a season of rest. So they felt released to go on a sabbatical. And that's exactly the push that I needed. I kind of felt already like in my spirit that I needed to take a break. But being a push to a sabbatical, like, allowed me to think more creatively. I wasn't just trying to find content to post. I wanted to make sure that everything that I release, everything that I put on social media has a feeling to it, has a vibe to it, has an energy to it, not just putting up content just for the sake of doing it. And so I want to encourage some of you to do the same. You might be feeling that nudge to take a break from social media, also from a place of comparison. It can be really, really easy to scroll on social media and you start by being happy and championing people. And all of a sudden, by the third Lambo you done seen or the third person in Cabo, you're starting to wonder, I thought my life was pretty good, but I'm missing more stuff, and now that joy that you once had feels like it's getting stolen from you. Am I talking to somebody? I know I can't be the only one that's not perfect out here, right? And so we have to be so conscious of what we are opening and availing our spirit to, because sometimes that can be a weight. The weight of social media, when we talk about the hidden cost of success, the hidden cost of being able to do it all, it's how we show up and show out in places. And being able to unplug, like for my makeup ladies, it was just nice to not even have to do all of this, right? Like I didn't even know that my body needed a break from the hair and the makeup and the glam. Like I just was at the crib, messy bun, sweat set. Like some of y'all might not even be able to envision that. But that allowed my body to physically rest. That allowed my mind to unplug. Sometimes when we're in these performative stages, it doesn't even allow our mind to rest. Not being responsible for being everybody's motivator. I think people don't realize that. Like some of us, yes, are naturally, I am naturally somebody who encourages people and supports people, but not having to be that, like that allowed me to encourage myself. It actually allowed the Lord to minister to my heart in a place that I didn't even know I needed. And so I think we have to figure out, there's several different types of rest. And so I think taking the time to be intentional. I've also started journaling more than ever before. Like that has been a really good method of release. There's so much stuff that we're carrying, even just the thoughts. Like I try to start my day off with having a brain dump, with putting that to-do list so that I'm not thinking of all of these tasks that have to be done all day. But there's an app that I really love called Journal. It's a free app, and I love it because you can add photos and videos, and it has prompts. And it has really allowed my mind to be able to capture memories, but really think about those small moments, because when you're really busy, you got a lot on your plate, it can be really hard to not be intentional. Recently, my daughter and we went to a children's museum, and I didn't want to forget that moment because it's so special. She's gonna be 3 this year, y'all. She's getting so big so fast. And so being able to parent from a place of rest, being able to express love to my husband from a place of rest, being able to be the daughter that my mom deserves to show up in her life from a place of rest. Like, we don't realize when we're burnt out, when we're exhausted, we're doing everything else, like that affects everyone in our life. And you deserve to rest. You deserve to put some stuff on the table so that you can truly live the life you deserve. So let's talk about what that looks like from a strategy standpoint, like how you can actually manage all of this. I think the first thing you have to have is boundaries. Boundaries. I'm gonna say that one more time. Boundaries. It can be so hard to say no. I know I am the type of person that instantly wants to say yes to everything. And then by the time the afternoon and the evening comes, I'm rethinking my whole life and wondering, why did I say yes before I even thought about it? So personally, I am taking more time before I make commitments. And I'm no longer feeling guilty when I say no to something. I just say no and release it. Because what I realize is when I say no, that allows somebody who wants to do something to say yes. And I don't want to rob somebody of doing something great. Something else that's really helped me is leaning into faith, right? I love that the Bible says to cast our cares on the Lord. Sometimes we feel like we inconveniencing God. We're like, no, I'll take on them cares. But if the word says that, if the word also says to not be anxious about anything, then that feeling of anxiety that's coming up, like that's not of God. Like that wasn't something that you were ever supposed to experience. So that's what I've been doing. That weight of responsibility, that weight of leadership, that weight of discipling women all over that world, the weight of helping people share their stories from a place of depth, right? I've given all of that to the Lord, and now I'm able to move with such an ease, such a joy, such a peace, such a happiness. Y'all see this glow, right? Like I ain't paid for this glow. It's because I'm taking care of myself. It's now coming from the inside out. And I realized, like, I don't gotta do all this by myself. Like, I have a whole team, not just the amazing team that I have behind me with the podcast, supporting me on this journey, but I got some friends that are holding me down behind the scenes, right? I got a therapist, like, just like how I'm sitting on this couch, I sit on a Zoom call with my therapist once a week. And, there's many times where she'll tell me, like, girl, you don't need to be here. I'm at once a week. Yes, I do, ma'am. Yes, respectfully, yes, I do, because I know that there are so many different situations and circumstances that can come my way, and I want to be prepared. This is what it looks like when you're putting systems in place for your mental health, for your well-being, so that you can truly withstand all of the responsibilities that are coming your way. There were seasons in my life where I was asking God, like, why is my plate so full? And he's like, this is what you asked for. So instead of asking responsibilities and different things to be taken away from me, I've been asking God for the strength. Some of y'all need to pray for strength to really be able to withstand everything that you technically are graced to do. Okay? So I promise, girl, you got this. You can do this. So we have come to my favorite segment of the show called the healing moment, where you get a little bit of homework on putting into action your healing steps. And what I want you to do is kind of write out some of those responsibilities. And I want you to ask yourself, like, what kind of boundaries do you need to put in place in your life? Like, what are some of those cares that you need to be given over to the Lord, but you've been selfishly holding on to? Like, what are the friends, the relationships you have in your life that you might need to reach out to? There are times where I'll just call out one of my girls and be like, can we just chat? Like, we're not talking about strategy. We're not talking about business. We're just talking about life, right? Like, who do you need to actually set up a brunch date with? Just to reconnect, just to kiki and just be the phenomenal woman that you were created and destined to be, so that you can operate from a place of peace and joy and rest. If you have enjoyed this episode of the Finally Healed with Jessica Lundy podcast, I need you to leave us a review on whatever platform that you are listening to this on and share it with a friend. I always say if you got good information, share it. Make sure you connect with us on social media at Finally Healed Pod and at Jessica Lundy TV. Remember, you've got this.